Howdy folks, welcome to 20th Century Adventures. I'm Nathan Logston, and these are my children. Today we are going to explore some of the 20th century history of Halloween and how it became the holiday that we know and love today. Come along with us. So now we're going to make some papier-mâché masks. This was a really popular thing to do in the 1920s. We didn't have costume stores. Spirit Halloween didn't exist yet, so you couldn't just go out and buy your costume or your mask or whatever. So you had to make those things. Now the most common way that they were made is with papier-mâché. So that's what we're going to do. We've got some balloons here. Balloons did exist in this period. Latex balloons even were becoming very popular by the 1920s. And so we're going to use our latex balloons. We're going to lay up papier-mâché using shredded newspaper. We've got some flour and some water. We're going to make the papier-mâché and lay it over the balloons to get the general shape. Then before it's completely dry, we'll mold a few features into it. And that'll make our masks, and then we can paint them and decorate them. Now these Halloween masks, because of the nature of the way that they were made, the handmade qualities as well as the bumpiness of the papier-mâché and the lack of symmetry, altogether this makes for a remarkably scary impression. And as you can see by these photographs, there were some pretty scary things going on here. These were truly terrifying masks.
Ragtime goblin man, he comes around and softly hums the ragtime tune. I know he'll follow me, he'll catch me sure, and then there'll be a ragtime tune. He's beside me, hide me, I can feel his breath. Oh, I'm scared to death. He will take me, shake me, make me Johnny Raggedy Band. Oh, where will I go? That goblin man, that goblin man. Look out for the goblin man, that ragtime goblin man. He'll catch anybody he can. That's just his goblin plan. There he is, there he is, there he is, there. Sing his eyes, sing his eyes, sing his eyes glare. That's the bogey who, if he can.
So Halloween wasn't always the child-centered holiday that it is today. There were a lot of factors that led up to this and this social change. We see in the 19th century, the American Civil War saw the loss of almost an entire generation of young men. Mothers were heartbroken. They had lost their sons. All the 17 to 20-year-old kids were, a lot of them, almost every family was touched somehow by that conflict. And as a result, Christmas kind of evolved into this more child-centric holiday, where it used to be a community-wide holiday. It kind of became more of a child-centric holiday. And the magic of Christmas and the presents and all this stuff that, before St. Nicholas came and he brought you, a handful of things, and now we've got Santa Claus, and it's just so much more glorious. And a lot of that evolved out of the heartbreak of the American Civil War. Well, the same thing happened with Halloween. Halloween originally was more of a go build a bonfire and maybe sing some songs, tell some scary stories, and children were present, but they weren't the center the way that nowadays. Of course, we still have adult Halloween parties, but trick-or-treating is kind of the epicenter of Halloween, and that really doesn't start until the 20th century. And a lot of it really picks up following World War I. So once again, we have an entire generation that has been touched by war, and boys who are too young to die have gone off and fought in the trenches and not come back. And again, mothers are heartbroken. And so now again, we are cherishing these children that are left behind after that conflict. We have another generation, we have another chance to to raise these children up, and we want to preserve their childhood, because all of the World War I generation and the Civil War generation, boys lost their childhood. They went from being teenagers to suddenly being soldiers, and they lost their lives. And so developing this child-centric holiday just sort of naturally evolved. And so that's really where it all comes in. And we start to see trick-or-treating and organized trick-or-treating, not just simply going out. Because at this time, there were tendencies to go out and commit vandalism. This was especially popular among teenage boys. So Halloween night was a night to go out and just cause ruckus. And it wasn't really bad stuff. You know, they would soap windows, they would egg houses, they would create blivet bags, which are really quite ingenious. They would take a paper sack and they would fill it with some very unpleasant poop, usually dog poop or cow poop, something that was really smelly and really sticky and really gooey, and that would go inside the bag, and they would tie it up with the top of the bag sticking up, and then they would go to the porch of somebody that they wanted to play this trick on, and they would light the bag on fire and knock on the door and yell fire and run away. And so then the person would come out on their porch and see this fire on their porch, and they would stomp it out and they'd get poop all over their shoes. So, you know, that was one of those relatively harmless pranks that were done. But then sometimes there was real vandalism and real damage done. And so trick-or-treating was one of those things that was kind of developed with the idea of let's give them something else to do. And really what worked more than that was scary movies. Because before that time we did not have any sort of movie shows, picture shows, but by the teens and 20s you've got the moving pictures coming in. And so they would make a big deal out of, okay, scary movies are going to come out at Halloween, and we're going to try to get people to come see it. We're going to sell candy at the movie theaters, and there were a lot of candies that came out in the 20s specifically geared towards the movie theaters. And so they would create this hype around the movies and get people to go buy movie tickets instead of vandalizing houses. And trick-or-treating was also done as a way of getting the adults on board. Here's something easy you can do. You can buy some cheap candy, and you can stand there on your porch and you can give these little kitties in their costumes some candy, and you don't get your house vandalized. And hence the trick or treat. So anyway, our kids have worked really hard on these masks. They've been working on them for hours, and they've done a great job. They painted them, and it was all too much to film, so I'm sorry we're cutting to the chase on this, but we're going to show you now how these masks turned out, and I will tell you they are terrifying. Okay, so first we have Honora. Come on. This is scary, isn't it? Now, Honora created her mask and put a little shape in the nose here, and she went with just a white face, kind of a Harlequin look. Harlequin clowns were real popular in this period, so she's kind of got that look going on. She's got different colored eyes and got some fancy flowers and stuff going on up here, so very artsy look. We put it together with a red cape, and it makes a pretty startling effect. All right, step over here. Now Jack. Jack decided to be a black cat, so he has painted his mask black, and we've added some whiskers and some yellow eyes, and he painted all of this himself. He did a great job. And of course we put a black cape on him. Costumes weren't real involved yet. Some were. Some kids had more talented mothers than others, or some kids had more money to invest in it. But most kids, you know, it was pretty simple. It was their ordinary everyday clothes, underneath of some sort of a cape and a papier-mâché mask. That was cheap, it was easy, it could be put together, no problem. So, step over here, Jack. And now we have Penelope. And Penelope decided she wanted to be a cute little fox. It's kind of a terrifying little fox, really. But yeah, she's a little red fox, and we put a kind of reddish brown cape for her, and I helped her some with the painting, but altogether it does kind of look like a fox, and it definitely looks terrifying. So you have to admit that this is way scarier than anything you would find on the shelf today. Pretty weird. Okay, well, it's time to do some trick-or-treating. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Walk with me. What a scary little fox you are. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you too. Trick or treat.
I don't know what you are, but it's very scary. Happy Halloween.
Trick or treat.
Oh, you are a scary black cat. Happy Halloween.
I got the same thing. Trying to at least get it.
Go for the stem.
I'm definitely not doing it anymore. I spare it.
Yay, good job, good job.
Good job. Sisters.
So here's some of the candies that were popular in the 1920s, that came out in the 20s for movie theater situations. We have Raisinets, still common today. We've got Juji Fruits, and we've got Snow Caps, and Necco wafers. Now some of these are still, like especially these two, really show up a lot, even these in modern movie theaters today. Necco wafers not so much, but there's still a lot of people out there that like them. So here we go, guys. Here's your theater candy.
Thank you.
And you guys can share these. And it's time to watch a movie.
Mine's no special opening. Look at them, they're so adorable. Chocolate.
Okay guys, you've had a few minutes to enjoy your candy. Let's get your reviews. Jack, what are your thoughts?
So I like the licorice flavored of this.
Of the Juji Fruits, yep.
And also all the flavors taste pretty much the same. And also I like the Raisinets that Hunter has. Raisins. I don't usually like them.
All right. He doesn't usually like raisins, but he likes Raisinets. All right.
Neckos are just, they have the texture of Tums and it's just so delicious.
So you like the Necco wafers best?
Yeah. And for some reason the yellow or the lemons in there taste a lot like taste like how the lemon cleaner smells. They're like super strong. Not very good.
All right. Honest review there. All right, Penelope, what do you think?
I think these the little snow on the snow caps, I think they taste like sprinkles. And Hunter was right about the snow cleaner and the little candy that she has.
Yeah.
The thing that disappoints. Yeah.
All right. So all in all, do you guys think that you could enjoy being kids in the 1920s?
Yeah.
All right. Nope, nope, nope. Out here. There you go. Go all the way through. Yep, like that. All right. Now start working your way around, keeping that distance. Okay? You kind of have to saw up and down a little bit. Keep your fingers out of the way. It's a lot harder than it looks, isn't it? So the tradition of carving a jack-o'-lantern goes back to the Middle Ages even. They were designed to cast light into the dark night and drive away evil spirits, and has just carried on as a tradition. Originally they were done with turnips, but by the 1920s pumpkins were the favorite and had become quite traditional. Watch your hand, please. And the traditional jack-o'-lantern face, as we picture it nowadays, was the norm by then as well. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do a very traditional jack-o'-lantern, which would have been all the rage in the middle of the 1920s. You might want to roll your sleeve back. Yes. Yep. Be careful with that knife. Don't point it towards yourself. All right. Carry on.
Gosh, it was hard.
It's a lot harder to watch you do it. Trust me.
Jake, I got it.
Okay.
You just got it.
Yeah. Keep your hands and fingers out of the way.
Guys, could you just turn it as I go?
Yeah.
In a quaint old antique store, for 1,000 years or more, laid a dusty violin. Suddenly a ghost appeared, played upon it wild and weird, and the ghost on the violin, he made his violin moan in a weepy, creepy tone. The ghost of the violin, the ghost played the violin. His bony fingers are shivering, each moan just sets me a quivering. Don't make a sound, so you know it around his eyes. Have a mournful glare, he's crying, of me everywhere. He's here, he's there, beware, take care, keep away from the ghost of the violin. Pretty soon the tale went around that a weird old ghost was found with a moaning, with a groaning violin. Every night when 12 would chime, people made it meeting time, and they creaked from their sleep to the violin. They'd whisper soft and low as the ghost would wield his bow. The ghost of the violin, the ghost played the violin. His bony fingers are shivering, each moan just sets me a quivering. Don't make a sound, only know it around his eyes. Have a mournful glare, he's crying of me everywhere. He's here, he's there, beware, take care, keep away from the ghost of the violin.
All right.
Finished up.
There we go. There's our traditional 1920s jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. Now we'll put a candle in him here in a little while and keep the evil spirits at bay. What do you think, guys?
Super cool. It took a while.
It did take a while. It took longer than it appears in the video, but we got it done, didn't we?
Yep.
All right. All right, so we've scooped out the pumpkin and taken the pumpkin seeds and added a little bit of salt. We rinsed them off, put a little salt on them, and roasted them in the oven. And now we're gonna give them a try. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, everybody dig in. What do you think? Pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Got some nice little salty, crunchy snacks, kind of nutty. Got a little bit of a pumpkin flavor to it. Kind of like eating a sunflower seed, but it's bigger.
It kind of tastes like popcorn.
Yeah, it's got some
better.
popcorn aspects to it. All right, so pumpkin seeds are a win. Now this was something that was commonly done, mainly because you had to scoop them out anyway. So you're going to do something with them, and you might as well use them, make a treat out of them. Sometimes they would save some of the pumpkin seeds to plant for the next year. Before the age of a lot of hybrid vegetables, that was commonly practiced. But then you had more than you needed, so of course you could take some and roast them, make a snack out of them. Alright, we've come to the time of the night when we tell scary stories.
Oh no.
So enjoy your Halloween candy because it may be the last you ever taste.
Well, this is the first I've ever tasted.
So we set our scene in a small town in Transylvania, deep in the Carpathian Mountains. And in this village, there's quaint little townspeople, and they go about their day just as if it's another day. But what they don't know is that the viper is coming.
Oh no!
What's the
Viper. The wind begins to blow, and on the wind, there's a whisper. The viper is coming. And everyone stops what they're doing, and they look around and they say, "Did you hear that? What was that sound? What was that noise? It said words on the wind." And they became very scared. And the trees began to shake, and the trees rustled. The viper is coming. And everyone shook in their boots. And then a figure appears on the horizon. It's a man, or a man-shaped figure, in a dark cloak and great big boots, big, wide, low hat. Moves slowly into view. The wind stops. Do we need to stop for candy? Are you too scared?
Probably.
Okay, eat a piece of candy. We don't want you to get too scared. And the wind stops blowing, and the trees stop shaking. And again comes that faint whisper. The viper is coming. Figure moves like a shadow. Suddenly he's a lot closer. And then he comes into full view. And it's a little man. He's not very big. And he's wearing overalls. And he pulls out a rag and he says, "I am the viper. Do you want your windows wiped?" Like, wiped? Okay. It's not funny if I have to explain it.
I thought it was funny.
How about we make some mores?
Some more?
Some
Sure.
mores.
Well, how
Whatever
about
those
anything?
are.
Well, how about some more of nothing?
I like some
Precisely.
more of candy.
So, in 1927, the official Girl Scout cookbook featured some mores.
Some more?
Some mores.
Okay.
And the description says that this has been a popular confection in Girl Scout camps for the past several years. So we can assume that this goes back to at least 1925. And the description is to roast a marshmallow, add a piece of Hershey's chocolate to a graham cracker, put the roasted marshmallow on the piece of chocolate, and put the other graham cracker on top. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right,
Try it.
let's do it. I'll get you some sticks. Here's a couple for you girls. Jack, I think this one still needs a little sharpening.
Okay. So it should be wiper instead of viper.
Yes, it should be wiper instead of viper. But people in the Romanian areas, Carpathian areas in Transylvania, they speak with a German accent, which means that all their W's come out sounding like V's. That's why it's funny.
Yeah.
Glad you finally got it.
Scary.
Here we go. We got some good coals there.
I love
Alright.
my candy.
You love your candy? That's good.
It's really healthy. Like heavy in my mouth.
Go forth and roast.
Yes. Roasty.
Remember to keep it out of the flames.
Oh.
Over the coals. Go forth and roast. Go forth and roast. So a lot of our viewers may be thinking, oh, s'mores. No, in this period it's some more. It wasn't until the 1950s that the shortening came about, when they shortened it to s'mores, because it's actually easier to say than s'mores. But in the original version, it would have been some mores. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give us a like and subscribe. And guys, what do we say?
See you
See you on the road.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.